sweet dear magical friends. Willkommen to your weekly horoscope and tarot with me, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E, as we open up the energies of your week ahead from Monday, January the 2nd of 2023 to Monday, January the 9th of 2023. Let's go ahead and dive in. This week, we have kind of a lot happening, kind of a lot going on. We do have the full moon happening in Cancer this week. We also have Venus ingressing into the sign of Aquarius on Monday when you guys are going to be seeing this. And then we also have, oh, that is next week. I'm so excited for Mars to station direct in Gemini. You guys have absolutely no idea. But we also have the Sun, Mercury, 𝚃𝚛𝚟𝚎, and Capricorn. So those are the big meaty things that are happening this week. We open the week with Venus ingressing into the sign of Aquarius, and then in the end of the week on Friday we have that Cancer full moon, and then the very next day is that 𝚃𝚑𝚎. So okay, let's start with, let's do a Monday. Oh, I'm way off. There we go. Monday. So on Monday, January the 2nd, we're going to talk about Venus ingressing into Aquarius. And then we also have the moon's going to be in Taurus, going to square Saturn. Then it's going to go void for a very good part of the day, like most of that later part of the day. Then the moon will ingress into the sign of Gemini and make a trine over to that Venus that will be in the sign of Aquarius. So let me just bring this a little bit further. I want to get the actual Venus. So that'll be like, yeah, like later in the day on Monday. So I'm calling Monday, first of all, this entire week, I'm calling, it's going to have something to do with unfinished business. And that's because this full moon in Cancer is a little bit more of a wrapping up full moon. Like you're going to get, of course, with every full moon every month, you're going to get the fruits of what you've been putting in, the karma that you've been creating, and what you've been sort of building towards. However, with 3 retrograde planets that will be stationing direct in the month of January, this full moon has that loose ends, tying up the loose ends about it. It's really going to be later in the month when we have the Aquarius new moon that you're going to maybe feel like you're seeing the future kind of unfold. So on Monday, I'm calling Monday Where's Your Will to be Weird, and that's because Venus ingresses into the sign of Aquarius. So okay, adjust your expectations and help other people adjust their expectations, and you adjust your own expectations, especially in terms of giving and receiving love, affection, approvals, and just your very definition of comfort. Because what's comfortable, it's very, very different. What's comfortable for us when Venus is in Capricorn is very different. Venus in Capricorn is like the suit, right? It's the suit, it's a 3-piece suit, it's protocols and manuals and order, and, you know, waiting in line, waiting for your turn, waiting for, what's that called, where you have to like work a long time in order to be eligible for like a promotion tendency. It's something in the normal world, it's called something where you have to like wait and then like in line to be, you know, like promoted, let's say. Whereas Aquarius energy is like, well, if they can do the job right now, if they know what they're doing, let them in the seat. You know, it's sort of that, and that's Uranian energy. Aquarian energy is that it has this fast elevator energy to it where it just up levels something. Like you can just go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. That's why mid to the end of July and the beginning of August of 2022 was such an important time to look for, because we had the triple conjunction with Mars and Uranus and the North Node all in Taurus. So, you know, that's just like a lot of intense, it's not even, it's like it goes beyond momentum and it's just there. It just appears or disappears. It's like, it happens that fast. It's a lightning fast, you know, evolution. There's no like time. Whereas Capricorn is all about time. It's all about time, okay, and waiting and the effect of that marination process. Whereas Aquarius and Iranian energy, it's just like an Augenblick, a blink of an eye, and it's like boom. So Venus in Aquarius, it's a little bit more detached in terms of like caring about time, caring about, like, you want to be on your own time. Okay, with all the Aquarian energy, you don't want due dates and, you know, dates where, or things where people have expectations of you. Okay, Aquarius sun moon risings are very notorious to committing to something and then getting into the day of it or the hour of it and going, you know what, this isn't the vibe anymore. I don't really feel like I want to do this anymore. So I'm just gonna flake out, you know. It's a little bit like that. So love and expressions of love and appreciation look different now. So I have my moon and Mercury in Aquarius, and I just don't want anyone to misunderstand this energy. Okay, so Aquarius energy, kind of like the mutable sign energy, where they need to just escape. Mutable sign energy is more escapism, whereas Aquarius energy, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it as I'm ghosting or I'm evading or I'm escaping. The way it feels from the first person perspective is I'm obsessed with my new invention. I'm obsessed with getting something right in my work. And I just forget about everything else. I forget, I don't look at my phone. I haven't opened up any apps. I don't know. It just doesn't exist for me. And that's, I think people see, it's easy to say like, oh, Aquarius energy super detached, and it's not untrue. If you just come at it trying to understand it from our perspective, I think you'll be much more forgiving of us. Yeah, because it's detached. We're detached from like everything except what we're obsessively like super focused and fixated, fixed sign focused on. So on one hand, this could definitely be very fixation focused, but this is likely going to be a mental fixation where you can connect on a mental wavelength. So, you know, if you're trying to work with someone and you guys are troubleshooting a problem, even if it's something like fixing the printer and like there's just like no chemistry and you guys just like, I don't know, walk away, you know, that could be Venus in Aquarius. However, if two people are at that same broken printer and maybe their synastry is really great, or they're kind of making a connection on a mental level, then that could be like the beginning of a very long-term fruitful friendship, because they're both either trying to troubleshoot and figure it out, they're thinking the same way and they're trying different things, or they're just like bouncing off of each other, or they're not even talking about the printer at all and they're talking about something totally else and totally different, and they're connecting on that. You know what I'm saying? So it just really, it has to be that vibe. It might be a narrower band of frequency that you can connect with other people on if you have Aquarius in your chart, not just sun, moon, rising, but any personal planets, any stelliums in the 11th house. If you have Saturn or Uranus aspect heavy charts, so Saturn or Uranus are making a lot of aspects. They're not in Aquarius, but they're making a lot of aspects. You know, it could give you that Aquarian flavor. But just generally for the next few weeks with Venus in Aquarius, if it's not clicking, if this is like turn off, did I say on or off? Turn off. Turn on, turn off type energy where you're just turned on, turned off. So if there's not that like organic, mental sort of, you know, electric connection, then give them space. Just let it be. Just let it be. You know, like that's what I mean about like, well, it's not like anyone's escaping anything with Aquarian energy. It's just they're into something else, and it doesn't mean that they're not into, you know, this or that. It's just, it's a little bit. That's why it's weird, or, you know, let your freak flag fly, because it's different, it's unusual, but it makes total sense to the person experiencing it. So wherever you have Aquarius in your life, it'll make sense to you. You will like this stuff. You will have a bigger appreciation for something that stands out. You know, if Aquarius is your 6th house, there could be a new incorporation of some like okra, the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, to be served on a platter for me to eat and consume. So very strange, but maybe you like it. Maybe you're like, ah. oh, God, you know. But like, you know, or maybe there's some other weird tonic thing that you find and it's, I don't know, so, you know, but you'll like it. You will like it. Picky eaters are gonna look at you and go like, that's weird, you know, but you're gonna like it and enjoy it. If you have Aquarius in your on your 9th house and Venus enters it, you could open yourself up to a totally different life perspective, and you learn about, you know, other people living life through that perspective, and that becomes really interesting to you. Or you discover some practices where, oh, this is what these people do, or this is this practice to kind of calm yourself down, or to get yourself excited, or to be creative, or to do whatever, and that really is interesting to you. But maybe to your friends and family, it's like, okay, that's a little bit woo, or it's a little off the deep end, or it's a little bit, you know, wacky or zany, you know. So don't, just do your own thing. That's really, and I really remember, you know, Venus is going to be moving into this conjunction with Saturn in Aquarius. Saturn has been stress testing our affiliations, our comradeship, where we feel genuinely embraced by a group of people. So the ones that have been existing have been very stress tested, and then new ones are forming, and new factions are breaking off, and they're forming in little subgroups. It's like, it's been very interesting to observe. However, with Venus moving, gonna move ever so closer into this conjunction, it just really feels, when I tune into this energy, I have a little story for you. So growing up, Moon, Mercury in Aquarius, I definitely a super loner person, Capricorn stellium. I remember the groups of children. Here were your options. You could either, I had the game that I wanted to play. Okay, I always have the game that I want to play. And then there's like the group, and there's the game that they're playing. So I remember all of these interactions. I went to like a bunch of different grammar schools. This always happened every single school. I made the same decision every single time. You can either play the game that they want to play, not the game you want to play and have friends. Or you can play the game that you want to play, but alone, without any friends. You know what I chose every single time. I want to play what I want to play. In my life, like always, I always just want to play what I want to play. I want to do what I want to do. And so, but you make that choice where I'm going to do this alone. And I think that is why Aquarius energy can look very detached, because we will just sit in our own sandbox if you don't want to play the game that we want to play. For me, it's like movies. Like, you want to watch a movie with me? Okay, that's what I'm doing. Okay, this is what I'm doing, dinner and a movie or whatever. You are welcome. I invite you to join me. Like, that's kind of it. Like, I like what you know what I'm saying? So it is sort of like unmoldable, and that's kind of the point. So, you know, with Venus in Aquarius, it's gonna be nice, you're gonna let your freak flag fly, but you're gonna get to this point eventually where, you know, there might be like a commitment to this, or you might be trying something out before you decide to incorporate it into your chest of toys, or your identity, or your how you see yourself in your life. You know what I'm saying? So let yourself experiment. Don't take any big new actions yet. We have these retrogrades. Mars is retrograde, Mercury is retrograde, Uranus is retrograde. They're all going to station direct in this month of January. So now is not the time. This week is not, don't act. This week, don't act until after January the 12th. You're going to get more information of how you need to change how you act. And you might have already a nice little baggie of all of those tips. You're going to get more. Wait till the 12th. After the 12th, go ahead and take action. Okay. So also on Monday, the moon in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius, going void, and then the moon's going to be in Gemini, and then it's going to be a trine over to. So that all of that is just telling me that it could take a couple of attempts. You know, you could feel sort of. You could feel off. You know, it might be a little bit jagged, or it might be a little bit awkward, but you'll feel more regulated by the end of the day. So, you know, emotionally, or the circumstances, you know, things might go slower. There might be delays or interruptions. Go with the flow. Don't put any big expectations on yourself. if you're trying to get anything done, wait till like the evening on Monday, because that'll probably, and that is when I believe Venus, yeah, it'll be the evening anyway that Venus changes signs. So you kind of want to wait till after. There might be things organically wrapping up with Venus in Capricorn, and then that long void period of that moon square Saturn. So you might be feeling kind of heavier, sluggish on, or just maybe a little lazier, or just not wanting to do anything on Monday. And then by Monday evening, you're all like, you know, getting all the ideas and whatnot. Okay, let's do it to it. Let's do it to Tuesday. Tuesday, January the 3rd. I'm calling it inflamed. That is because we do have the moon meeting over to Mars in Gemini, Mars retrograde in Gemini, and then we have Venus in Aquarius sextiling over to Jupiter in Aries. So moon Mars, that is always a hot button energy. It's a triggering energy. This is an easy gimme in predictive astrology, okay? I always know someone or myself like that's like, you're going to do something and you're going to act because you are subconsciously triggered. This is a program that's already been programmed into you, and you're just going to, that's what you're going to do. Like whatever your response is, or whatever action you're going to take, however you're going to feel, if you're offended, if you're insulted, if you are lusty, if you are complimented, if you are aggravated or frustrated or annoyed or supremely motivated, or you want to run in a million directions at once, like it's all going to hit you. So just be sort of careful of that, knowing that that's on Tuesday. Because of the Mars retrograde, it could be incorrect. Your impulse could be incorrect. It could be a subconscious program that you actually don't want to act on your behalf. It might even be something that you're trying to change. So it might be something that comes up, and you have hopefully a smidgen of free will to be able to like steer it into doing something else, or doing something different, or making a different choice. I like this for giving justice to the past, though. So if there's something that you did not do, remember, not doing anything is still making a decision. And everyone thinks that, oh, if I didn't do anything, I'm not doing anything wrong. No, you're validating, or you are confirming, or you are affirming what's happening before you. If you're not stepping in to say no, or you're not stepping in to take a side, or you're not stepping in to make your position known, then you are silently validating stuff. Okay, so okay, but like I said, I like this for giving justice to the past. If there was something that you did incorrectly, or if you didn't act at all, and you should have stepped in to advocate for something or someone, or you should have made your position, whatever it was. I like that for that. The Venus sextile to Jupiter is very nice. The free thinker energy is super strong, big energy there. So that can go one of two ways. That can have someone believing that their subconscious program is totally right, and they're identifying with their position like in a very big, deep way that you really shouldn't. That's kind of inappropriate. And you're going to see that, like you see people's subconscious like very, very clearly, especially on social media. So, you know, there's that. And that actually we probably will be seeing a lot of, I don't know, maybe people are tweeting and posting, and there could be some like catch fire topic that just spreads like wildfire throughout the interwebs, that everyone has to put their comment on. I never comment, but I have to put in my 2 cents on this, that kind of thing. So, inflamed. I think that's all I have to say about Tuesday. Let's move on to Wednesday. On Wednesday, January the 4th, I'm calling this all work, no play, because that Gemini moon trines over to Saturn in Aquarius, and it also squares over to Neptune in Pisces. So that moon trine Saturn is like, be productive, make your way, figure it out, troubleshoot, try different things and find what works, you know, talk and network. You know, I hate that fucking word. So ever since I fucking first started fucking can you hate that fucking word? Sorry. But that square over to Neptune is saying, I don't want to do anything. I just want to color in my adult coloring book. I just want to do anything, you know? So it's like, try to keep a light flexible schedule on Wednesday because you need that balance. If you try to just stay in the chair, it's going to take you twice as long to get it done, as opposed to if you just let yourself have 5 full minutes to just walk around. I pace a lot. It makes my mother nervous because when I'm explaining something to her, I make her sit down and then I pace back and forth. She's like, that makes me nervous. I'm like, Moon in Aquarius. I think that's my moon Mercury in Aquarius is like, but that's what I do. Like I literally just like pace and bumble around my apartment. Like that's just what I do. I just walk back and forth, look out the windows. So, but like let yourself do that for 5 minutes. It'll feel like a long time and it's not. As opposed to if you just like force yourself to sit in the chair and just like plow through everything, you're wasting energy with the stress and the pressure and all the force that you're using to try and put yourself into a mold. That's spent energy. Okay? So you'll know your balance. And that's what I'm going to say. Is to be as cognizant as possible on Wednesday of where your balance is. And then just don't judge yourself for what that looks like. You know, if you need to sit down, if you need to stand up, if you need whatever it is, it's yours. Thursday, January the 5th. I'm calling drama increase. The moon enters into Cancer. Actually, let's put this like this. Oopsie. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, so the drama, the dial turns up midweek. And this is the full moon being activated already. So the moon's in Cancer. You're getting signs, synchronicities. You're feeling deep feelings. You're very, very psychic. You're emotionally in tune in the Cancerian area of your life. So if the Cancer area of your life is more personal, it's a first house, it's your 4th house, it's something like that, then you're going to be feeling it about yourself, about your life, and very, very personally, very identity associative. If Cancer is more of a public or like other person type house for you, like the 10th house or the 7th house, then they're going to be showing you how they feel, and you're going to be feeling very clearly where you stand in your career, where you stand with other people. And but it's showing you things. That moon in Aquarius, that moon in Cancer is also going to square over to Jupiter in Aries. So the feelings are going to be super outsized. But here's the thing. I feel like part of you is going to feel sort of like super insecure for no reason and just want to like scuttle away or just hide in your shell. But there's another part of you and another part of your life that is really ready to just go for it, explore the unknown, pioneer your own path, and make your way. So you have to reconcile these two different parts of you and in these two different areas of life. And with all of this retrograde energy, you have to wrap up the issues that kept you from either being very emotionally self-caring yourself and taking care of your own self and your own emotional needs, and being brave and courageous. And that it's really, again, that balance between masculine and feminine energy. So this is the Jupiter in Aries is like the masculine energy. It's like this great idea, this new thing, this life unlived, life unexplored, a relationship unexplored, a situation, an art project unexplored that you want. So this is going to add to the drama though, because with the square, it's going to be like too much in one area or too much in another area, and you are going to have to reconcile that. So it's going to be something stressful that, you might be put in a situation where you have to be brave and you just want to disappear into the wall. And it's showing you like you need to incorporate more of that like courage and confident masculine energy, whether or not your father brought you up to be confident and your coach and your cheerleader and all of that. You got to do it. Could also be something that comes up in the middle of the week that jolts you emotionally and it rocks you to your core, and there is nothing physical or idealistic for you to grab on and hold on to, that it's forcing you to go into your emotions. So, you know, you're going to feel one way or another. I feel like I'm so, am I chatty? Oh, I'm not. I feel like I've been so chatty, but we're actually doing pretty good on time. Okay. So that's the drama on Thursday. Also on Thursday, the sun in Capricorn trines over to Uranus retrograding in the sign of Taurus. I love all this Earth sign trining over to Uranus and then North Node. I mean, North Node, Uranus and Taurus, because I am a Capricorn stellium. But, and I also have my Jupiter in Taurus. But this I like so much because more of the path takes form. It's like you're driving and you can only see like a few inches in front of you at a time, and then the snow or whatever clears, the fog clears, and you get to see more and more of the road ahead of you. Or if you're walking in the forest and you can only see a few feet in front of you, and the same thing happens, like it just clears and you see more ahead of you. And with the trine to Uranus, it's going to be something that, okay, with retrograde Uranus and gonna station in a couple of weeks, it's like we're still trying different things that may not be completely correct, but we're still closer than we were before. So it's like the room of doors. You go to one door and that's a dead end. Go to the next door, that's a dead end. And you have to like try all the doors. And then when Uranus stations direct later in the month of January, zoom, zoom. Okay, but for now, on Thursday, this is going to add to the drama because there's going to be something that you've got to fix or that you've got to correct, or seeing where things got out of alignment. It's going to show you something. So I also like this for masculine energies because this could be some very strong, surprising, like surprisingly helpful kind of evolution. Remember, Uranus and Aquarius energy goes from 0 to 100. It goes from the floor to the penthouse. It's just lightning fast. Look at the split. So, you know, there could just be some interesting pivots with our masculine energy, or we just might, like the Aquarius energy, like turned on, turned off. Immediately interested, just as immediately disinterested, or, you know, putting something down. So it could be like you immediately change your direction, or someone's just going to pivot, or someone is taking a project and the design was like, I don't know, flowers and rainbows, and all of a sudden they're going to go black and white. They're going to do angles and lines, harsh lines. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that, where you just, I don't know how else to explain. It's just something that kind of, like us Aquarians, we just feel it happening to us. Like it's very more like, I don't want to say like possessed, but it kind of is the right word. You know, that's when you just kind of like forget to do normal things. You forget to stop and eat and shower and like do all those kinds of things. And the sun goes down behind you because you're so into your little project, you know, whether that's whatever it is, writing all the eclipses in Taurus and Scorpio for the next 100 years or whatever, never know, but whatever happened, whatever your own little, you know, maybe you're making little robots, or maybe you are reading all about, you know, the glass skin routine or Korean beauty care, or like whatever it is that you just zone out into. Elevated. And it's going to be that eureka moment that comes out of nowhere. It's very exciting. Very exciting, actually. Okay, let's move on. To Friday. Okay, so on Friday, I'm calling it Now It's Personal, because we have a full moon in Cancer. So a full moon in Cancer is always going to be extremely personal. Okay, so here's the thing. We have the 3 retrogrades. They're all going to go direct this month, but this full moon is happening when they're still retrograde. So this is closing up unfinished business, and you've got to balance your commitments with how much you care. Do you care about these commitments that you have taken on? Do you care about, do you care? That's it. Like, do you care or do you not care? How much do you care? Your manifestations are going to take form and be revealed for the next couple of weeks and you have that to work with, or it's going to be stuff for you that you're wrapping up old business. So Capricorn is making the commitment. It's the discipline, it's the duty. It's, you know, starting something new in the physical realm, you know, incorporating your business or buying your house or starting your career, whatever that happens to be. But you need Cancer to sustain you. You need emotion, you need passion, you need love, you need to care. You need to care about what you are being so disciplined to do. And that's what this full moon's going to bring up to everybody. I feel like it's going to be people going, I'm into this responsibility. I don't fucking care anymore. I don't fucking want to do it anymore. Or people are going to be feeling so overwhelmed. Like, I care so much about this that I need to make a commitment. I need to make a bigger commitment to it. Or I need to show up for it in a bigger way. You know, I feel like it's going to be like that. So it's going to be a balancing act over the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be wrapping up the unfinished business. So putting more care, if you have it, into things that you're committed to, taking commitments off your plate that you don't really care about. You know, it's going to be, that's really what I feel like this is going to be over the next couple of weeks. And it's also going to have a lot of strong revelations because of the 𝚃𝚑𝚗𝚘 the next day. So, you know, I feel like it's going to be pretty magical because the power of the Cancer Capricorn axis is sort of phenomenal. It's phenomenal if you can get it right. If you can marshal your energies, be a very mature, what do they call it, emotionally intelligent, if you can self-mastery, if you have strong spirituality. Remember, spirituality is how you feel every moment of every day of your life based on what you believe. If you're feeling shitty throughout the day, feeling low self-esteem, feeling tired, fatigued, scattered, insecure, there's something off with your spirituality because of what you're believing. Now, the thoughts you think over and over again, those become beliefs. And what are those beliefs intact? Held intact by? Your emotions. They're emotionally charged. Beliefs are emotionally charged thoughts that you think over and over again. So those kinds of things can also kind of crack down at this full moon with this 𝚃𝚑𝚗𝚘. And the revelations will be about that. It'll be about where your heart is not, where your heart is, the commitments that you're very happy with that are on your plate, the commitments that you are feeling very inspired to take on, where you're feeling duty is too heavy and it's not like appropriate to your life anymore, where you're feeling emotionally starved, you know, all of that stuff. So those are what the strong revelations are going to be about, because this is really right, like Mercury is just, you know, being reborn again. So it's really, again, like finishing unfinished business. This part of Mercury's synodic cycle is just so deeply embedding lessons that you've been learning over the last 3 or 4 months and seeding what you're going to be learning over the next 3 to 4 months. So what have you made of it? How much have you learned? How much have you grown is going to determine how far ahead you get to start the next cycle. And that's true for all of these cycles, okay? So this is a full moon. This is the moon's cycle. Mercury has their cycle. You know what I'm saying? So this is at one point a fruition of the moon cycle, and then you're embedding, wrapping up and embedding, beginning a whole different cycle with Mercury, interior conjunction 𝚃𝚗𝚗𝚗. Okay, so expect some very strong revelations, and I'm going to say focus on the balance. Focus on the balance, because if it's too Capricorn, I've been seeing some crazy shit over the last couple of weeks. Like, oh my God. If it's too stern or you're being too stern with yourself, you need that Cancer moon is going to totally bring your attention into this other area of life and make you care about it. make you be in your emotions, you know, and vice versa. If you've been super, if this Cancer moon is really, really wet for you and really slobbery and tears and snot and all that stuff, you know, there's going to be some attentions that are being pulled in the Capricorn area of your life with this big 𝚬𝚘 that you have to realize as well. Maybe this is a disappointing full moon for you over the next couple of weeks, and you go, oh my God, I should have put more effort here, and I wasted my effort caring about this when that's not really what I care about. And you know what I'm saying? But don't get Eeyore about it. That's Capricorn. I call my Capricorns like my Eeyores of the zodiac. So don't get all Eeyore about it. This is the time for you to wrap up and make your little adjustments and get ready for like a very fresh new start for the next nation. Oh, okay. So about the full moon. So the full moon is going to be trining over to Neptune and Pisces, but this Sun, Mercury 𝚃𝚘𝚖, is going to be trining over to Uranus and Taurus. So this really amplifies everything I just said, because the moon trining over to Neptune and Pisces, you know what you really believe. Like, you're not going to be feeling vague and ambiguous. You know your beliefs. You know what you believe and you know what you care about, because you're going to be feeling it. And it's going to be feeling like a second identity. This is like, now for some people, this is going to be drugs, mental health, delusions, you know, that kind of thing. But that's not you, okay? You're going to have this one being full of faith and belief and magic. This is magical too. Now, the Sun, Mercury 𝚃𝚘𝚖 trining over to Uranus and Taurus. How you need to change again to light the path for your next steps could come in quickly, radically, differently, unexpectedly. So just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Uranus is still retrograde this full moon, so there's still more adjustments and more changes that you need to do before you're ready to really set off. This is almost like packing up. She showed me the mummy with the llamas. This is like, if you've ever traveled, you might have packed and repacked your bags. I don't know if you've done that, but like fully packed and started going and then realized like, this is not my setup. And then you go back, repack, and it's like redistributing the things in the pockets, how they're being attached to your, oh no, it's a camel. It's a camel. How it's attached to your camel. And you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that. So I like the trine. I very much like the trine. It's sort of like recovering something, you know, before moving ahead. But you do see the path, but you see the path like, oh, I need to go back because I'm gonna need my snow boots. So let me go grab the snow boots. The more the path becomes clear, it's like, oh, I'm gonna need it. Okay, and then you go back and you do what you gotta do. It's kind of like that. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's talk about Saturday. Revelations. I'm calling Saturday Revelations. That's because we have the moon in Cancer trining over to Neptune and Pisces. That's, again, strong faith, belief. This is the emotional charge. So the emotional charge is either there or it is not there. This could be, like I said, this could be delusional. If it's delusional, you're going to get another cycle later on to figure it out. But if people are like super delusional at this time, this is some part of their like history. Like they have a history of being delusional about this. Okay, because we have this like Mars retrograde in Gemini, and it's just, I'm not even gonna get into it. Revelation Saturday the 7th. Okay. But then the moon's going to be in Leo, trining over to Jupiter in Aries. That's courage, and that's the confidence that we need. Sun is going to be with the Mercury retrograde. There's a 𝚃𝚘𝚗. I feel, okay, you're going to want to plan for some alone time for the 𝚃𝚗. And doing something, how did I put this? Having something going on kind of like in the background, I've found to be like very helpful and very, it kind of just naturally happens that way organically anyway. I remember in one of the 𝚃𝚗𝚗s of early last year, I think that was like the February one. It was really amazing. I was doing research on something for one of my scripts, and I came upon this treasure trove of historical items, like historical books and literature of specific townships. And I found these, it was so obscure, you guys, and so perfect for what I was doing. And so that whole Mercury 𝚗𝚘𝚗 day was just me voraciously reading, downloading, saving these books from like the 1840s, 50s, 60s, in a very specific township. And like I was like a super detective that day. Like it was just really, really wonderful. I was geeking out into it. Another 𝚗𝚘𝚗, I wrote out my entire Mercury somatic cycle for 2022 and had that all done. But that I did on a 𝚗𝚘𝚗. So, you know, zoning out is part of it, but zoning out allows you to kind of get like a laser focus. So if you could have, maybe if you're doing dishes, you could come upon like a brilliant idea, or, you know, if you're knitting, or if you're, you know, doing something to trigger it. Otherwise, something's going to take you by storm, and it's going to be like it was with me. Like I was just sort of searching, and then I found this freaking treasure trove, and then I just like ate it all up. And in the sign of Capricorn, this is pretty serious. It's always pretty serious when anything is ever happening in Capricorn ever. Just don't take it too seriously, but it is very serious. So what I like about this is its power. Okay? True, real, honest power is power over yourself. And that's how I want you to think. The bad Capricorns are really easy to spot because they are always trying to like have power over you. They're always trying to like push you or bully you, or just, it's, the bad Capricorns are the saddest, meanest, dastardly of the entire zodiac, like the a-holes of the, like, horrible. The good Capricorns share power. The good Capricorns want everyone to have power and to grow and know and to be self-affirmed. So that is the path of self-mastery, is that Capricorn path. That fishtail at the end and then the goat head at the front is starting from the primordial human ooze and then making your way out of the water up to the very top pinnacle of the mountaintop, reaching spiritual achievements. Spiritual heights is what Capricorn's really about. Anyway, long story short, self-mastery, self-empowerment, and being secure in your own power, sitting with yourself. So you could be feeling one way or another with that, especially however the end of the year went for you, like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, that kind of thing. So you might be realizing where you don't have the power and where you want more power over yourself, or you might just be very much enjoying your self-empowerment. I was certainly enjoying, I love 𝚗𝚘𝚗. Like I freaking love 𝚗𝚘𝚗s because I don't keep, time does not even exist. And for those hours, for that day that it's in effect, I'm always just like freaking super obsessed about something, or like super into something. So very strong revelations. I feel like you're going to know what to do as far as changing these structures are concerned. And you're going to feel empowered to do that. And you're going to enjoy, like, oh, thank God that I saved that money so that I can make this big move. Or, you know, thank God I went to therapy. Thank God I got sober. I feel like you're going to be thankful that you did do yourself a solid by being responsible or mature or setting up a structure or setting up a system or setting up something in place for you to take that next step. Okay. I hope I did that justice. Let's take a look at Sunday. Okay, Sunday is January the 8th. Happy birthday! It is my birthday, January the 8th. If you would like to send me Frango Mint chocolates, it is in the link in the description box below on my Amazon wish list. Thank you all very, very sincerely. There should not be any troubles or issues with ordering like there were for the after 8 mints. These are Frango mints. These are stateside. So there should be no problems there. That's all I'm asking for. If you also this is a bonus, but if you want to donate to Rancho Relaxo, that is my favorite goat sanctuary. You can also donate to any goat sanctuary, and just, you know, think a good thought for me and send me some good positive energy. Any goat sanctuaries at all. I love Rancho Relaxo, but any goat sanctuaries also thank you very much for that. I'm never there. Okay, so Sunday the 8th, I'm calling it You Finally Get It. This is because it's mostly because of the Mercury retrograde in Capricorn trining over to Uranus retrograde in Taurus. They're both retrograde, and they're both going to go direct this month. And they're both retrograde at the full moon. So the answers appear where you need to rethink, where you need to make changes. So it could be one affecting the other, but it can also be both happening at the same time, where something is changing and then showing you how you need to rethink about something, or you're already rethinking something and then you're able to make a change to something that you've been trying to change and just hadn't gotten the right fit for it. So I love that. I'm very excited for that day too. There's also the moon in Leo opposing Venus in Aquarius. This, I feel like, is checking us to stay fair with the needs and the comfort. So there could be a situation where what's comfortable for you is not comfortable with the other person that you're sitting, you know. Let's say I like natural, real, organic air, and I want the windows open, and you like climate controlled, artificial air conditioning, and, you know, I want to keep the windows open for as long as we possibly can until my makeup starts to drip off my face. And you want to close it all down and turn on the air at the slightest little warm breeze, and you want to put the air on blast. It's more like that, where that's what I'm getting with this Venus in Aquarius opposing the moon in Leo, where it's just going to be nothing you can't work through or get over, but it's just going to be there. You know, you're in a cafe and someone wants to sit on the chairs that don't have any pads or padding, and it's just like a polyurethane piece of junk, and you want to sit on the cushioned with the pillow, you know, against the wall. You know, it's kind of like it bothers you a little bit, but it's not something you're gonna like start a big fight about, you know. So that's kind of it's a little thing. I think it's just gonna be a little thing. So, you know, just try to find that equal balance, give and take. But yeah, I'm more excited about the Mercury-Uranus trine because that can be very ingenious, that could be very innovative. And I like that they're both retrograde because it's like it finally clicks. It finally makes sense. You know, you could figure out why something in your car hasn't been working, or why some program hasn't been downloading to your computer, or you could figure out something like that, and you're like, yes. That's it. Yes. So that's what I like about Sunday. And then Monday of next week, I'm calling it flirty. We'll talk about it more then. That's Venus trines Mars retrograde in Gemini. That's just really banter and like sexual tension. So it's gonna be nice. But anyway, okay. Let's move this right along to. No, I'll keep it like that. Okay. What message am I here to deliver about this week, please? This is the week of the 2nd to the 9th, 2023. Anything we need to know? Thank you. The Ten of Swords. Ooh, and the King of Pentacles. Yikes. Let me see it. Okay. Sort of. There we go. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So this is off the bat telling me that someone is super tweaking out. Someone's tweaking out. Maybe about money, maybe about finances. Maybe there's a job ending. Maybe there's a career change. But this, I feel like either seen the writing on the wall or you've seen it coming. Here, don't be afraid to close down the business. Don't be afraid to close down the relationship. Don't be afraid to close down anything that is like, I mean, a plant knows how to do that. A plant will stop giving water to the leaves that are dying. So, I mean, if a plant can do that, we surely should be able to, right? So, but this does look like, you know, just kind of calling it. Like, this is not a financially profitable thing, so I'm not putting more money into it, but it doesn't have to be financial, but it's practical. It absolutely 100% is practical for this person. This is a masculine, confident choice that you're making, you or somebody else. And it's like, this is the result. I feel like someone's looking at results. I feel like someone's looking at the numbers, looking at the history, looking at the days, looking at, you know, the past couple years and saying, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? The Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. Not the cutest. So, you know, there does seem to be some stress, more stress and anxiety. So both these people are tweaking out. This one's like calling it. This one is just sort of generally tweaking out. And you're doing a lot better than you think you are, or you're a lot further than you believe. This could be a married person. This could be an unmarried person. It doesn't have to be. This could also mean that a business relationship is over, or someone's ending a business relationship, business connection. So it doesn't have to be married, and this is some kind of definitely on their own, but like, don't worry about that. Why are you worried about that? Four of Swords. Wow, very heavy mental energy this week. I would expect mental energies to be very stirred up because of the full moon is going to be making everyone howl. Simply howling. And that's going to exacerbate anything that you've already been worried about, okay? This does look like you get a break, and get a rest, a little respite. Let's do one more position. Message they need to hear this week. The Knight of Cups and the King of Wands. Let's talk about Strength, bottom of the deck. Two of Swords and the Three of Wands, bottom of the deck. So overall, kind of just, it feels like you don't want to do the wrong thing or make the wrong decision, like for your future. You feel someone feels a little bit, if this is more practical and financial, this could just be something that is like a block or an impasse that does also have practical reasons associated with it. So it's not like something you need to stress out like personally. And then you just have to work with yourself. Like if you are impatient or you are insecure, or you know, if you have to wait and you are feeling out of alignment like that, then you run the risk of fucking it up. And everything was already fine. You just had to just sit still and wait. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just, you know, maybe sit tight for a second. What is this King of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords, please? Ooh. We have the Chariot and we have Justice. To clarify, I like this. This is telling me that you are going to actually be very happy with the end of stressing mentally about something. If you're ending a job, you are like, fuck you. If you're like, I'm free. If you're ending a relationship, you are like, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. If you are ending a money pit, you were sinking money into something, you know, repairs, a car, a house, and you're like, I'm fucking calling it. And you walk away, you're like, oh, feels so good. You know, whatever it is, it's going to be bringing justice and accountability to your situation. And I see a lot of mental relief. But it's whoever's calling it. So you might be the one ending a business association, a business partnership, a relationship, anything that wasn't practically fitting into your lifestyle. It's the right thing. I feel like you already know that. Take a look at the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Another Four of Swords. Interesting. Four of Swords, Eight of... Oh my nose. Okay. I need to do my makeup with better lighting. And the Wheel of Fortune. You have the Four of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. To clarify. Oh my gosh. You're way better off than you thought. You're way better. Someone here is way, 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 way better. You're totally stressing about nothing. Okay. You have food in the fridge. You have a roof over your head. You have your job, or you have your family. You have your business. You have your degree. You have like your children. You're fine. Whatever this is, whatever your Nine of Pentacles looks like you're fine. You're totally fine. There has been, with the Eight and the Nine of Swords, I don't know if you're afraid. This could be like imposter syndrome, where you're afraid that you're going to be found out, that you're not as, I don't know, whatever. It could be that you're just worried about something. Maybe you're worried about the King of Pentacles. Maybe you're worried about yourself, or this King of Wands, or something else in the situation. Someone here is kind of like a freelancer or off on their own, maybe a little bit estranged from their family even. Maybe they just run their own business. I don't know. But they're very single and sort of like doing their own thing, worried, nothing to worry about. And there's going to be like a total mental health shift for you where, I don't know, it's like all of a sudden you just really believe it, that you're fine, that everything's okay. And it changes your lived experience. That's the Four of Swords. That's your respite. This is your break. You might actually be going on vacation, or you might be taking some kind of break, or you might not be physically doing anything different, but the mental relief is there. Just taking the top card, there's a glob, Knight of Pentacles. So this is going to be a sustaining, like, restful period for you, where you're actually going to be feeling so much better consistently. This isn't going to be a temporary solution that comes in and it solves a problem for you, but then you're an hour later you're back to stressing about something. This is like a big thing that you were stressed about, and you really do get to just chill and relax about it, where you don't have to think negatively about it, or you're not going to be thinking negatively about it. So take this opportunity to build up mental strength. Okay, so when this relief comes in, use that as positive mental energy momentum to really cement some better, I don't know, mental health practices. Or, you know me, I'm going to recommend meditation. Incorporate daily meditation, or something that keeps you at that even keel, because you can't just wait for things to work out in your favor to be mentally okay. Let's take a look at the King of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Thank you. Oh man. Another Knight, the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Be careful. Be careful of this one, everybody. This is definitely beware. Beware this one. Someone's coming in really hot to trot, really persuasive. Maybe they're very good looking. Don't fall for it. This is with these two Knights. No, and the Seven of Swords, no. Just be careful this week that be careful of anyone trying to rush you to make a decision or make a commitment, or using time as a pressure cooker to make you decide something. This person could be using that as a means to get you to say yes to something. It's someone's trying to rush something before they've earned it. Okay, so they're going to try to be sweet talking, or they're going to try to be very sexually like attractive, or be sort of, I don't know if I even know the word, but they're going to just try to be very, it's a Casanova type, you know, energy. I am so excited. It's just like 2 more weeks that Mars goes direct. Guys, we're almost there. We turned the corner and we're almost there. We're almost there. I'm talking to myself here. Seriously. Yeah, so in any case, I feel like someone here does not have anything to worry about. This person's done worrying and they're getting the fruits and the juice and positive momentum now. And then this person is very, very trying to do a shortcut, trying to sort of work around something. So just be on guard this week. And don't let, like for this single person, be very careful, because if you have low self-esteem or if you're just insecure, you're susceptible. You're susceptible to being swindled by someone very confident and building the image for you, this short-term image, and then trying to not pressure you, because you won't feel it as pressure, you'll feel it as like excitement that you just want to do this with this person, or like whatever happens to be, but it's not really in your best interest. Is it? Reading this a little bit more positively, this could be a surprise. Someone surprises someone. If you, that would only work if there's some kind of like long distance thing, that someone's been like worried about where they stand, then the person surprises them. And I still don't know who this person is over here. I'm going to say sit still though, because even this over here, this is still fate. Fate brings you the opportunity. That's timing. So, bottom of the deck, adjustments are required. Yes. What do you need to release? The end of a tough cycle approaches and your commitment is being tested. That's all very on point. It's all extremely on point for this week. Oh, you can't even, wait. No, let me see like my hands. It's not about my hands. Oh my god, come on. There we go. My loves, until next time, many, many, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful headstones. Mwah.